If we want to lead like Jesus, then we have to preach to the multitudes and we have to pastor a team. Look at the ministry of Jesus. He really loved the crowds. He ministered to the crowds. He prayed for the crowds, but he spent time and he led his team. I think each one of us should be able to identify what platform am I preaching to, and then what team am I devoting my life to? And we should preach loud from our platforms. Loud, loud, loud. And you may not hold the microphone to preach to all campuses every Sunday, but guys, I want you to realize your platform is significant. Your social media platform is significant. I was just, dude, Rob, and maybe it's just because we're friends on Facebook, but the little videos you do, bro, you'll have they go everywhere. And
I know, I've actually been really shocked by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I don't, consider myself a largely popular person.
Preach loud from the platforms, but pastor a team. And if you guys cannot identify who your team is, then you haven't even begun. Because true success is when you have a team that has a team. It's like you don't know you're a good parent until your kids raise good kids. And that's being a grandparent. It's like my parents can look at us and see how we're raising our kids, and they know that they've done a good job with us because now we're raising our kids in the fear of the Lord. And you don't know that you've done a good job until your kids' are doing well. So I wrote down a couple thoughts. Let me just give them to you. Our duty to the crowd is to minister to them. That means meeting their needs physically, spiritually, praying for them, loving them, hugging them. And if you ever see me on Sunday, I'm just hugging people, praying for people. After services, I minister to them. That's my responsibility to them. Secondly, my duty to them is to point them to Christ. And that they never become a fan of me, but they always are hearing Christ, pointing to Christ. The crowds need to see Christ. And then they need to see Jesus in me. I need to represent him in the way that I talk, the way that I minister. I need to be Christ to them. And so that's my duty to the crowds. But my duty to the team is this: to love them, truly love them, be committed to them. Secondly, to be close to them. It's a decision that I make, and I'm choosing to be close to my team. Thirdly is to pray for them. I will pray for my team specifically. And so whoever is your team, that's who you pray for. You pray for them individually. You ask God to give you wisdom for them. You ask God to speak to you for them. Fourth is to teach them. It's your duty to your team to teach them. By saying you teach them doesn't mean you know everything, but what little you do know, you pass it on. And it's just a responsibility to anything that God gives you, just become a channel of blessing. Fifth is to empower them. It's your job to make sure that they fly higher than you ever will fly. Man, if this thing is about you, and it's about you being big and great and everything, then man, your ministry's gonna be small. But if you think, I want to make the people that are with me and that God has entrusted to me, I want them to fly higher than I ever can fly. And it's my greatest joy when they exceed what I've ever done. And when they're smarter than me, and when they preach better, or when they lead better, or when they, so empower them. And then sixth is to pastor them. When they have been successful and when they have been empowered, that you still care for their marriage, you still care for their rest, you still care for their health, you still care for their, you love them. Type this thought. Crowds will come and go, but teams form memories that last forever. Crowds will come and go, but teams form memories that will last forever. I promise you, 20 years from now, you'll remember sitting in these rooms with me and talking about stuff. I promise you. I promise you. You'll remember funny conversations, tough conversations. I remember when he said this. I remember when he did this. And right now, it just seems like a blip on your radar. It's just a part of your weekly routine. But when a team galvanizes and a team gets tight, you build memories that literally you'll keep forever. Yeah, so you think about that in your leadership. the team that you're building right now, it may not be together forever, but you'll remember it forever.
Wow, that's really good.
Think of the power of that, man. That the team you're building now may not be together forever, but you'll remember it forever. And then to find the greatest sense of fulfillment when your team builds a team and you really feel like they finally got it. You know, Bethany may have thousands of people, but if each one of you don't have a team, I am still not successful. Wow. But when you all have a team that is powerful and potent and you know how to love them and you know how to do those 6 things that I just said, love them, be close to them, pray for them, teach them, empower them, and pastor them. When you have a team that's done that, I feel like I've been successful to some degree.
Yeah.
And then when that team does it, you know, what I just shared with you on you preaching loud from your platform and you making sure that you have a team that you do those 6 things with, that's what I really care about.